Gobble, gobble.
You took it because I was gonna go.
I know.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Bible Study Girl podcast. I am Sarita, and the jive turkey that you heard at the beginning of the podcast is the executive producer of the podcast, Bible Study Brother.
It is I, Bible Study Brother, but I am also known as Icarus Gray over at Gray Area Anime. But this is the most wonderful podcast of your day. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Was that a new turkey sound?
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'm trying to get the gobble, gobble, gobble. You know,
I don't. It didn't. No. It didn't. It didn't land. Didn't you try it though?
Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Let me try and see if I can get in my bag with this. Hold on. Oh wow! I got some applause there. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Did great. Thank you.
You only get the applause because you work the soundboard. If I had a soundboard in my possession, it would be crickets. Not applause.
So rude, man.
As you guys can tell, we are in good spirits over here in the Bible Study Girl universe. Because this episode is all about the things that we're thankful for. Thanksgiving is rapidly approaching. It'll be this upcoming Thursday. And though we won't be together, you may not know this. I'm going to continue to say this because I want it to be clear. Mm-hmm. Bible Study Brother and I are brother and sister, like in real life, not just brothers and sisters in Christ. We have the same mother. We grew up in the same household. Like we know each other. So we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving across the country from one another this year.
Yeah.
You don't have no wah. Never mind. We don't have that on the sound.
No sadness. No, we don't have any sadness right now.
No sadness sounds. So although we will be across the country from each other, we do definitely have so many things that we can be thankful for. And I think it is always appropriate over here in BibleStudyGirl.com and the Bible Study Girl podcast to celebrate and to verbally give thanks to all that God has done for us and the things that bring us joy that we're grateful for. Hopefully you guys have been reading the November post as I share with you every day one new thing that I am grateful for. It has been a labor of love, but I don't want to get away from letting it be known that I do realize I live a blessed life and that I do have so many things to be grateful for. You know, I get on this podcast and I talk about the sad parts of my life quite often and the struggles that I have quite often, but I don't want it to just be, woe is me, wah. I have so much to be grateful for and so much to be thankful for. So if you haven't, you can head over to BibleStudyGirl.com. There is a whole month worth of posts of things that I'm grateful for. And they'll continue through the month of November. We're taking it all the way to the end of November. And I am going to be more intentional and focused on, if nothing else, doing a sermon recap every week after I hear the sermon. But real talk, I'm going to tell you why I haven't been doing sermon recaps, because sometimes the sermons have been hitting too close to home. And so it has been difficult for me. I always want to be as transparent as possible, right? But sometimes it takes me a minute to process and figure out what I feel comfortable sharing, if that makes sense. So it's not that the sermons haven't been hitting. The thing is, they have been hitting. And your girl been laid out.
Yeah, man. It's, what's crazy saying, because we were going through this we call it the Freedom Series, where we were where our pastor Chris Hibbie was going through basically a sermon series on the Freedom book, Knowing Freedom, that I was telling you guys about. And it has been a ride
Right.
of like trying to the last summer was about being humble and humbling yourself to God and what
Mm-hmm.
he wants, and like how you get when you're like, we could have so many things solved, but pride is not the way you is not singularly the way we think of it. Like the pride of what we talked about in boundaries of will, and like you just trying to like will it, and God is saying, bow down, give that to me. Bow, give that to me. Bow, give that to me. You are acting too high for yourself. You are on a high horse that you're going to fall from. And so I understand. I definitely understand the soul searching X-rays that are sermons on Sunday.
Right. So I guess my first thing that I can say that I'm thankful for is that I have a church home where I'm fed, not milk, baby. I'm over here chewing. Do you hear me on this meat? And it has been hard to digest. So I would say that's probably the first thing I want to share and say that I'm grateful for. I need it for my growth. I don't always like it though. I will say that, and that's definitely continued to be a struggle for me. But I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful that God has given me a pastor and a church family that enables me to grow and to learn, and where I can get. I say this all the time. To me, a great sermon is not the hooping and the shouting and the hollering. It's, did I get something from that I can really use in my everyday life? To me, that's the hoop, the shout, and the holler. And so I'm grateful that I do attend a church where I can get practical things that I can use in my daily walk, right? It's not, I don't need just a good show on Sunday. I'm trying to live life. And so I'm grateful for that. You want to share something you're grateful
I was
for?
gonna, copy your sentiments and say that I am really thankful for my church, City Central Tacoma, um, for being a lot of the things that you and I talk about on this podcast, for being a lot of healing to. We talked about church hurt, and this first church where I feel like addresses these things in a way that I think is very spiritual, and is so connected with an actual walk with God. And it's not about this just coming on Sunday. Like they are firmly implanted in the community. During Halloween, we did a trunk or treat. We had a trunk, and we had like 440 people come through our trunk or treat. And it was just a fun night and fun experience to give kids an opportunity to have fun in safe places, and safe places where they are like loved and cared for in a godly way. Um,
Let me ask you a
yeah.
question.
Hmm?
Did you have enough candy for 440 kids to come through?
Yeah. We
You did?
had like 200 pounds of candy, 200 plus pounds of candy.
Oh, the church, y'all, you didn't have to buy the candy for your station, for your
No.
trunk.
Well, we provided, I mean, we donated. We donated at least 5 pounds to the 200. But one of the
Got it.
life groups came through with like 200 pounds worth of candy.
That's
And
what's
and they'll
up.
get like a
Yeah,
meal. So we had
I don't.
candy
I
left
donated.
over.
Yeah, I donated a lot of candy because I didn't feel like doing a trunk, but also nobody asked me to, and I wasn't gonna volunteer. Continue with your story, brother.
But yeah, so it was just very great. And like, even I've been doing a lot of different things with the church. I'm like, I usher. I'm on not on staff, but I work with like the life groups now. I am also technically on the welcoming committee at this point, uh, digitally at least. Like, so when people connect with people on Sundays, they get texts and stuff from me.
Well, that's what's up.
So yeah.
It's important to have a good place to learn and grow in faith. We definitely need our faith community. Okay, let's see. What else am I grateful for? So many things. so much. I'm grateful. I almost said this, but I don't want to get.
What was you gonna say?
No, I'm gonna retract that statement before it even comes out of my mouth. Let's see. I have lots to be grateful for. I'm grateful for every listener of this podcast. I think I've said this before, and it is a very true statement. But when we are recording, I record with the thought that only mama and grandma are going to listen to it. That helps me to be more of myself and more of my authentic self. Because if I think about the fact that people actually listen to the podcast, I would go mute, like on the Beyonce challenge. And so I want it to be said publicly that I'm grateful for every person that decides to take time out of their week or day to listen to us. We have a dedicated group of people that listen every week, and I'm not really a numbers girl. That is Bible Study Brothers department, but the fact that there are more than 2 listeners every week makes me feel like we're making an impact. And honestly, even if it is just mom and grandma listening, I think they would get a lot out of it. They get to know more about us and see us in a different light. But I definitely want it to be known that I'm appreciative for every listen. And I really hope that us being vulnerable and sharing pieces of ourselves and pieces of our testimony and pieces of our lives is something that has been helpful for you. Because we're not just doing it for fun. We're not just doing it because, oh my gosh, I really want to do a podcast. This is mission driven for me, and for us, I would say collectively it's mission driven. I feel like this is what the Lord has for us to do, and I'm excited to do it. And even when it gets tough, I do remember that a single story could be enough to change somebody's life. I've told this story before, but if you're just listening for the first time, I went to a women's conference, right? My cousin invited me, and I kind of started not to go. I paid the admission or whatever to go. I was just buying the ticket, to support. And then I thought, well, I'm actually going to go. So I went. And while I was there, they had different vendors. And one of the vendors was a lady that was selling makeup. And they had the vendors go around and like just tell a little bit about themselves. And she began to share a story about how she had been sexually abused as a young child. And the makeup company that she works for actually provides a free 3-day women's retreat. Actually, I think it's 4 days, free 4-day women's retreat to kind of help women who are adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse deal with the trauma that comes from being abused. And she's saying all these things. She's there to sell makeup, but really her sharing her story changed my life. That lady didn't know me. I didn't buy any makeup from her, but her being willing to share her story changed my life. And the purpose of the conference was not that, nobody was there. It just, but her willingness to be open provided me an opportunity to go to a free workshop for 4 days. Like, I had to pay to get myself there, but lodging and food, all of that was provided once I got there, and it was free. And it was a life-changing experience for me. And so I think about that quite often on the days that I'm tired and I don't feel like recording, because I'm like, well, this little story I have doesn't matter, won't make a difference. And then I think about that, like that lady didn't have to share that day when she was selling her makeup. She could have just said, come over here because I sell makeup. But her willingness to share provided a life-changing opportunity for me. I was able to get some incredible resources, some incredible help that I needed to help me mentally, because I was not in a great place mentally. So I thank y'all for listening. And I really do hope that something we say, we real ignorant around here, but I do hope that something we say has been a help to you. And so thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in every week.
I am It's my turn, yeah. Or you want me to
Yes,
go?
it's your
Oh,
turn.
the way you said it, it
I'm
felt
on.
like it was
I'm on.
a exit. I was like, oh wow, that was quick.
No,
Um,
friend. I'm on mute.
oh, um, I want to thank my family. This year has been a year. I've talked
Hmm.
about it at different portions. My wife had surgery early in March. Um, I released an album in May. And then after that, it's just been kind of a whirlwind of trying to plant roots. So I'm just thankful for my family at every juncture. People have been there to encourage, people have been there to listen, not judging. We've done a lot of growth in that area as a family. And seeing everybody for some family photos that we took in September was amazing, and it's just like you
It was.
see,
We look so
yeah,
good.
and you see kind of like our growth. The babies of the family are not babies anymore, outside of the two, well, the three actual small children, but outside of them
Look at all
three,
grown.
we all grown, and like to see the impact that life has had on all of us and how we're still coming together to be together. Um, seeing Aunt Doris smile was is everything now, Uh just interacting. So I'm very thankful for our family. I'm very thankful for you and moms specifically, just because I know like this has been one of them years where it's like, man, I really miss my mom and my sister and being able to like get to them whenever I like felt like it, or do random stuff whenever things needed to be done, because I'm like on the days where I'm like really self-critical or really hard on myself, and I've stopped chastising myself for it. I'm like, just call your mama, call your sister, and I know because of what we went through in 2021 that we have been way more open about calling whenever we gonna call. And so it means a lot. And I'm grateful that every time we get off the phone, we're saying I love you, like, because I don't know. We never know what's going to happen. But I do know one thing, that if the last time I talked to you was a day ago, a week ago, whatever, I'm going to know that I was loved. And I can, bank on
I'm
that.
gonna put a pin in that. You're gonna know if you were loved. You're gonna know you were loved if you weren't calling me to tell me a dad joke.
Oh, yeah,
Because I
you are
would
so
hang up the
loved. You are
phone and
so loved. Oh, my gosh. But you are so
oh,
loved.
okay, but I will continue to hang up the phone in your face. I tell you, man will call me, and I can always tell because I'm a prophet. Uh, he'll be like, I'm like, if you are calling me, say to me a dad joke, prepare to get hung up on. I don't want it.
They be good. They be so good.
Oh, good to you. I don't want it. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something else I'm thankful for. I am thankful that I have been laughing more. Like I have the ability to laugh, that life, there are more and more things in life that are hilarious to me. I feel like I'm getting back to a laughing state, a more joyful state, right? Because happiness comes and goes, but I feel like I've had a lot more reasons to laugh, and I'm grateful for that because we both experienced seasons where there is a lot more reasons to cry than laugh. And so I'm grateful that this year really has been a year of laughter. You talked about Kanae's surgery, but I had surgery this year as well.
Oh yeah, you were January. You were
I was
January.
January.
You were the example.
I was
Like,
the
and so
example.
that was also stressful for me, but I guess because
You're far away.
once you came out on the other side of it, no, it was super stressful. But like once you were fine, like once I know you fine, like I have to stop doing that. But I told you, the first
Well, let
superhero
me
I
tell
met
you,
in life was you. So
No, listen, he didn't care nothing about me being fine because when he was here after I had surgery, he was driving through the city streets like I was perfectly fine. I was like, bro, you got to slow down. Hurt, I hurt. Although we claim complete healing in Jesus' name, I'm hurting back here. You know? There are potholes everywhere in Little Rock, in case you didn't know. But there are. These streets are trash. And if your body is trying to heal, go slowly.
I did my best, man. I did my best. Like I hit one though. It was like I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It went douche. I was like, whoa. I was like, I do not hate you. I promise. I don't hate you. I promise. Yeah. You did yours.
But
yeah.
But even with that though, I've had so many reasons to laugh, even during recovery. Like I had to tell grandma, like,
oh my gosh.
You've got to get away from me. I can't laugh right now. It hurts too bad. Like, get on.
You know what? If you hadn't have been so extra, like this person, like it's a 6-week recovery process for the surgery that you and Kanae had. And you was acting like you was just gonna be back ready to do everything in a week.
I'm delusional.
Very much so. And I didn't know. Like
I'm delusional. Not only that I'm independent though. I think that's the thing. Like if I was like, "Ooh, take care of me," or I don't know. I wasn't expecting anybody to have to take care of me for an extended period of time. I was unprepared is what I was. Like, yeah, even though y'all don't want me to work for this long, that don't mean nothing.
Like, no, I can still do this. Y'all just don't want me lifting stuff. And it's just like, no, you really can't do this because, we use our core all the time.
Right.
Every time. Like every day you wake up, you're using your core. You're sitting on the couch. You're using your core. You're laying down. You're using your core. So.
This is true. Like grandma had to use her big girl muscles to help this big girl. I will say I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for feeling better, walking better, moving better. Like life has just been better. So I'm grateful for that as well. Because we know health is not promised. Now I will tell you, I went into surgery probably 20 pounds lighter than I am now, but I was prepared. I was like, I'm about to have surgery. Let me move my body every day. Let me get in better health and shape, even though I don't feel well, because you don't want to get down and not be able to move and get even fatter. So then I got healed and I got fatter. But anyway, I can turn it around. I need to just get back to my everyday movement schedule I had going. But yeah, I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for activity of my limbs, a good mental space. Ooh, I'm grateful for a good mental space because, it has definitely been the other way. Probably last Thanksgiving, it was more so the other way.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely that. But I think I had a pretty good time last year. I, last but not least, I am thankful for, and this is so weird for me to say, doing this boundaries book with you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Can
rough,
I take a moment to be genuine?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you tell about the boundaries, but part of the reason I picked boundaries because I wanted to be petty. You know what I'm saying? So since you declared us about Study Girl Book Club, we go read. Continue.
Even though you the reader, you just be reading books all the time anyway. I'm just like, just
I
share with your rude self. No, but it really exposed me to the healing that I needed to do, the things I needed to let go of, the things I needed to start working towards. Especially like, when we talk about our the Great War of 2017.
It was a great war.
Or the Cold War of 2017. And And to like go through the boundaries book, see the places where it's like, okay, I probably should have done this. I should have done this. I could have done this. This is like a safe space, like Christianly. This is what would have helped with those things. And like, I can't, because for a while, what bothered me the most, I think about the last, because we've talked like 2 or 3 times and we said a lot of agree to disagree and things of that nature where we were okay with that. And initially, like, what bothered me the most about it before the boundaries book was it was like, well, I don't think I'm going to be understood, or like, because I'm just going to be villainized and looked at a certain way. And when I was like, it's my responsibility, I'm feeling that way. Like, because at this point, if I'm just taking on what others feel about me, that's something that I'm choosing to do. I can't approach conflict in a way of everybody just walks away happy. That's just not how that happens. And it's not my responsibility. I can only do what I can take care of. Like, hey, I apologize for this, or I apologize for that. I truly mean it. If you believe it, if you don't, that's on you. But I'm not going to hold myself in to, all these different things. Learning to be more accountable to the things I need to do to express my boundaries. And having that tool and it growing, and like, yeah, I'm not the best at it. Like, I still fail miserably at times trying to build these boundaries, but I've been thankful to start the journey of building boundaries that I've never had, and understanding why this part is okay, or why that part is okay, or that I was on the right path to healing and building myself better, and being at a place where it values much more what God asked me to do than what people think about what God asked me to do. And that's hard, because while I'm there, I'm still not at the point to where I'm like, well, let me talk to you more, God. Let our relationship become so, intertwined that it's hard for me to go astray, because I am just seeking you to fill it out. I'm not trying to will myself through anything. So I'm thankful for doing this book. It's illuminated so many different things. It's caused growth in my marriage, my growth in our relationship, growth in just every facet of my life, and just being able to kind of see how to interact with people and respect boundaries and set my own.
And we're almost at the end. I thank God for that. I'm glad we are almost out of boundaries, because it is a challenge. It's a hard read, and that it really makes you look at yourself. So I'm glad you're thankful for it, brother.
Yeah.
I'm kind of switching gears a little bit here, but not really, because this is a Thanksgiving episode. What are y'all eating for Thanksgiving?
I got a Cajun turkey from Popeyes.
Okay. Those are delicious.
Attempting again to make some greens.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure they're going to be really great this year, because last year I just didn't cut my greens up enough. I was expecting a spinach effect. That ain't how greens work.
No.
Like, greens shrink down, but they are still
They're
more
still
green,
yeah.
and they are very massive if you do not cut them. So you're like, it was like green noodles. Is what it might well be. I'll be able to get turkey legs and things of that nature to really get in there and cook it. Thanks to you for sending us cornmeal, not for my birthday, because you're not as rude.
That was for your birthday. You're welcome.
Oh, you get on my nerves. So we were able to make dressing. We got one of our church members that's going to be with us, making mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's what's up.
And my wife wants to make a sweet potato pie for 75% of the people that are there. Because sweet potato pies ain't my bag. Like,
really,
never been my bag. Like, I've eaten pieces every now and again, but like, oh, this is good.
Pecan pie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I've been in a drought, since 2021.
Yeah. Since Uncle Chauncey passed, there has been no. I made some pecan bars when y'all were here for Christmas, but I mean, there wasn't a pecan pie.
And I made a pecan cheesecake one year that was a hit. It looked messed up because I didn't do it all the way that I needed to, but it tasted great. It just didn't look the quality that I like to produce. But yeah, so that's what we're having.
You know,
I don't think I'm missing anything.
We're having a smorgasbord down here. I'm making a cake.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm supposed to bring the rolls too. I haven't talked to Mama about if we're gonna cook something separate at the house, just to have a little something to nosh on. We might, but I'm on pound cake duty.
Of course you are, because your pound cakes are legendary. One of these days, I got to get you somehow to send me one just in the mail.
Oh, that's what I should have sent you with for your birthday, along with that cornmeal, eh?
Yeah, send me a pound cake. I cannot.
I mean, it is possible to ship food. I just haven't ever. I mean, I could be a good sister and do that. Maybe for Christmas.
Oh, that would be great.
Ship y'all a cake.
And if not, I'm just gonna make you. We're just gonna make one together upon arrival when I see you sometime next year. So yeah, man, that's what we're doing. That's what y'all are cooking. Speaking of, from now until the end of the year, guys, all of these episodes that you're gonna hear have been recorded early.
Recorded early.
Because we like are to take out enjoying the holidays.
Yes, we like to take the month of December off so we can have time with family and just time to regroup for the next year. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have a job, a full job, and then I have a part-time job, and then I have a PRN job. And you know what that means? That's a lot of jobs. So we have to kind of fit in recording when we can. But because I am a planner, we get it done. We get it done and we get the episodes. So you guys are going to hear the end of the boundary recap. We'll pop in and say Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad.
Mm-hmm. May bring in a special guest there or two.
All right. Who you?
Money bags. You gotta bring money bags in, man.
Because I'm like, what special guest could we possibly be?
Money bag doodle, you know. And the Holy Spirit is always available.
He's always here, honey. Where two or three are gathered, and I count 1, 2.
Amen. That's the dad joke. That is such a dad joke, bro. Oh, you are the worst, man.
No, you are the worst. Your dad joke,
the best.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I will say too, brother, I'm thankful to be podcasting with you. We definitely have our struggles and our bumps in the road, but I enjoy ministry with you, my friend.
And who knew? You know, we've done so many machinations of what we were going to do together as siblings. You know, I was always going to handle your entertainment at some point, was what I thought in my head. At some quaint little cafe, or, you know, it wasn't until like when I started cooking more that I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be in the back. We just gonna have this quiet shop. Like, I don't know how, like, thinking on it now, I don't know how we would have run a bakery with both of us being as introverted as we were at the time. Like, wanting to create this bakery library, it's just like, no,
you like to believe that you're an introvert?
Oh, 100%.
Is that what we're doing?
I am. I just deal with people better than you do. That's all. It doesn't mean it doesn't drain me and I want to leave immediately.
No, it's not true. I think my therapist was trying to tell me that I'm an extrovert the other day.
Way more than what I am. So
I think he was.
I'm just saying he ain't wrong. You know.
When you're right, you're right. But when you're wrong, get out of here.
Cause I'm like cause I took, you know, the little Myers-Briggs, I think we did I'm an Int J.
I'm an I when I take that assessment. He was like, yeah, but
shout out to the young doc.
Yes, but also. So I hope this Thanksgiving season is not too difficult for you guys. I'm very well aware of the fact that holidays can be difficult when you have loved ones that are not there. You notice the gaps, you notice the empty seats. So I'm praying for you. And I pray that even in that, you find things that you can be thankful for and things you can be grateful for. I know it can be difficult. I speak from personal experience. I think we both can say that it is difficult to continue on knowing that there are gaps. So definitely praying for you. I look forward to all that God has in store for us, whatever that is. And I'm grateful that we get to do life together, brother. And I'm also grateful that I get to do life with you guys as you listen.
And bigger and better things. You'll be getting new content, like you said, 2024. I'm working through this boundary thing, man. We are growing and functioning in purpose all 2024 and beyond. Because I ain't just gonna say 1 year and then just stop. But like, we finna do it. We finna turn it up. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like she said, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving me time to grow and work as the executive producer of this podcast. Thank you guys for allowing us to minister to your lives and be silly and ignorant. And, you know, I know sometimes I get like the, as they say, the preachers that have all these sayings, but like you can't help where you come from. So thank you. Remember, it is not I or just you that preach, but we preach.
And until we meet again, guys, keep preaching. Gobble, gobble, gobble.